Hey, what's up, Knife Tube? Okay, today we're going to be showing off two really cool pieces, and it would be the Legion Steel Knives Asgeir, Asgeir. I believe that's how you pronounce it, Asgeir. Asgeir. Anyways, fantastic, very, very high quality pieces. In the pass around, we were, sent one of each with both colorways. I want to say these are very, very high quality production pieces. These are very, very well made knives. I'm genuinely impressed. I'm just showing them. I'm not gonna cut anything with them. I would really love to cut test one just to see how the steel performs, but pass around I can't. So, I'm not going to be able to speak on blade performance or steel performance, should I say. So we're going to speak on everything else. The colorways are absolutely beautiful with that shredded crushed carbon. It catches light really nicely. Just really pretty knives. You've got the inlays front and back, show side, clip side. I don't know how well the camera's catching it, but you have this really classy matte anodized bluish. Kind of looks a little more blue on camera than it actually is. It's kind of more of a grayish blue. The hardware showing up pretty true to life. Yeah, hardware's pretty true to life. Clip is a little different than it's showing up on camera. It's pretty neat. You got a carbon pivot collar. It's pretty cool little detail. Again, catches light nice. These are in, I believe, 20 CV. Yeah, CPM 20 CV. I have no idea who was OEM in these. Whoever's doing it did a really nice job. The knives are very well put together. Factory edges are pretty decent. Not bad. However, that's for most people, they're going to consider that absolutely razor sharp. I just, as a sharpener, I have a different level of sharp, I guess. Anyways, good factory edges. Nice and consistent. That's what's most important to me. I don't really care about how sharp a knife is out of the box because it's going to get my edge anyways. What matters to me is that the factory edge is consistent. And these are. Yeah, both edges are one consistent bevel width. The geometry of the blade is pretty, it's pretty much the same behind the edge thickness here as it is here. So the angle has been held very consistently. Your plunge grind, you're probably gonna get one or two sharpenings before, and maybe one sharpening before you start to cause a smile. If you reprofile it at all, you're definitely going to create a smile. But you probably got one, maybe two sharpenings at factory angle before you start to create a smile. Where does the stop pin land? Stop pin's good, so you can, easily enlarge that choil. That way that don't happen. Yeah, just open that up a little bit. Move the edge back slightly. That way you don't create a smile if you reprofile it, or after a couple sharpenings. Good blade shape. Very, very usable blade shape. For utility cutting, you don't got to get that wrist up too high to get to the tip. Like I'm on the point right there. You see where my wrist is at? So, going to be a very good utility cutter. Nice and comfortable in hand. XL mitts fit no problem on it. You can get up on the edge on top of the flipper. The knife balance pretty well. Balance is about right there. Feels great in hand, really does. Geometry, it's going to be a nice slicer. It comes down pretty thin behind the edge. That feels to be about probably about 14 thousandths. Now, because it's not a super tall flat grind, it is going to thicken up pretty quickly. So after 4 or 5 sharpenings, you're probably going to be upwards of around 20 thousandths, and it'll progress from there. But it's got good cutting geometry as is. If the blade was a little taller, you'd get more sharpenings before it starts to get really thick. But you're going to get quite a few sharpenings out of it with, and still maintain that nice slicey performance. Action on these knives, really fantastic. The detent, perfect. Nice snappy detent. Lockup, both of them is at about 30%, 30%. It's perfect. Yeah, perfect lockup. Very, very smooth. No blade play. This one's drop shut, actually. But yeah, very, very good action. Rock solid blade, zero blade play. No lock rock. That's the most important thing. If there is a little blade play, you could always just tighten the pivot ever so slightly, but this is good and solid. There actually is a little teeny bit, but like I said, it drops shut, so you got room to tighten that pivot slightly to get rid of that. But what's important is no lock rock, and there is absolutely none. That is like a bolt. Perfect. No pivot lash. Yeah, absolutely zero pivot lash. No detent lash. Let's check for pivot lash. Absolutely none. And detent, no detent lash whatsoever. In and out of the pocket, these clips have about the perfect amount of tension. Right, they have enough tension to hold solid, but not too much to where it's tough to get in or get out of, thicker seam pants. Unlike your average jeans, work pants, it's in and out of the pocket really easily. Yeah, that's this very, very, very well done pocket clip with literally the perfect amount of tension. The ramp is perfect. Like that is a very, very good pocket clip. That pocket clip was designed right, and a pocket clip can really make or break a knife. And I got to say, this one's done very, very good. They are 3.75 ounces. Should be basically the same. Dead on. Well, that's consistent. So 3.750 or 100 and that's green, sorry. 106 grams. 106 grams. You got titanium, it's titanium frame lock. You do have a hardened steel insert. Shredded carbon, crushed carbon, whatever you want to call it. CPM 20 CV. Let's see. As far as it is a tick under 8 inches overall, and you're going to have 3.5 inches of cutting edge. I gotta speak highly of it. Marshall and Marissa, this is a damn nice knife. Really, really good design. I really like it. Very fits the hands very, very nice. This knife is ready to do some work. Like it. This is a good looking knife, but also a knife that's ready to, that you can go out and do some work with, and you're not gonna tear your hands up, wear your hands out. That handle design is excellent. So, very well done knife. Legion Steel Knives killed it. It's an awesome design. Really classy looking knife. Blade centering on both of them. Perfect. I would say that these are finished at a high level. I don't see no voids or imperfections in the carbon. No little pits, which is common. So good quality carbon. The manufacturing quality is fit and finish is excellent. Yeah, this is going to make people a really nice titanium frame lock that can be had at a reasonable price, good cutting geometry, a nice usable blade shape. Overall, very well done knife. I'm impressed with it. I really am. Like, this knife was literally made. It feels like it was made for my hands. Like this is a perfect in-hand knife. This handle design is brilliant. Super comfortable. This thing's, like I said, made to work. If I pick one up, I will definitely do a cut test on them. I'd love a sharpening and a cut test on them, or the one I get. I would really love to, be able to HRC, poke the blade, check for HRC, do an edge retention test, and sharpen it, just to get a feel for how well the 20 CV's done. But these are pass arounds, of course, so I can't do that. And I'll probably pick one up. Marshall and Marissa, excellent jobs, ladies and gentlemen. This is a nice, a well-designed knife. Looks good, ready for work. All right, guys. I'm probably going to make 2 or 3 more videos, and I'll move it on to the next person to pass around. I told you I only need it for maybe 2 or 3 days. I don't need the whole 10. I'll probably film one more video here and do a TikTok and an Instagram video, and tomorrow or the next day get them out and get it to the next person. So today's Wednesday. Yeah, Friday I should be able to have it on the way to the next person. So thank you guys for the opportunity to be able to do this. I appreciate it, and y'all go check out Legion Steel Knives. Awesome people. Marshall and Marissa, they're two of the nicest people I've ever met in the knife industry. I mean, genuinely good people. And, you know, I appreciate them giving me the opportunity to check out and show their knives off. All right, guys. Y'all have a good one.